Blues fans, you made it. Welcome to another episode of This Week in the Blues. I'm your host, Jimbo Big Train Matson, with Big Train and the Locomotives. So let's take a look at what happened this week in blues history.
Blues guitarist Leroy Dallas was born December 24th in 1909. His more memorable recordings are from 1948 and include Good Morning Blues and Jump Little Children Jump. He traveled widely in the Deep South in the 1930s and 40s. He played the washboard accompanying Brownie McGee and later teamed up with Frank Edwards and Georgia Slim for a while. He also played solo on the streets of Chicago. He recorded 8 tracks in his own name between 1948 and 1962. Blues guitarist, singer, and harmonica player Daniel Womack was born December 24th in 1904. He became completely blind at the age of 14 and attended the Virginia State School for the Deaf and Blind. He taught himself to play the piano and formed the Virginia State School Quartet. In the 1930s and 40s, he learned the distinctive Piedmont finger-picking style of playing guitar and drew large crowds at local tobacco auctions. Chicago blues guitarist and singer L.V. Johnson was born December 25th, 1946. Johnson learned to play the guitar from B.B. King. He's best known for his renditions of Don't You Mess With My Money, My Honey, or My Woman, and Recipe. Other songs he wrote were recorded by Tyrone Davis, Bobby Bland, and the Dells. He was the nephew of Elmore James. Johnson was also employed by Stax Records as a session musician and played on recordings by the Bar-Kays, Johnny Taylor, and the Soul Children. Blues singer and songwriter Joseph Pullman was born Christmas Day in 1905. Pullman recorded 4 sessions, which yielded a total of 30 tracks between April 1934 and February 1936. Pullman's major success was a recording of his own song, Black Gal, What Makes Your Head So Hard. It sold in large quantities and was covered by Leroy Carr, Skip James, Bumblebee Slim, the Harlem Hamfats, Speckled Red, and many, many others. Unfortunately, his following recordings did not fare so well, so I guess he's the blues version of a one-hit wonder. Delta blues guitarist and harmonica player J.D. Short was born December 26, 1902 in Port Gibson, Mississippi. He was a cousin of Big Joe Williams and David Honeyboy Edwards. He had a distinctive, vibrato-laden singing voice, and early in his career recorded under a number of pseudonyms, including Jelly Jaw Short. His noteworthy recordings include Lonesome Swamp Rattlesnake and You're Tempting Me. Short disappeared from the music industry for over 2 decades before re-emerging during the blues revival of the 1960s. Electric blues bass guitarist Bob Stroger was born December 27th in 1930. Stroger was born on a farm outside Haiti, Missouri, and in 1955 he relocated with his family to Chicago. He has worked with a who's who list of blues musicians, including Otis Rush, Jimmy Rogers, Eddie Taylor, Eddie Clearwater, Sunnyland Slim, Louisiana Red, Homesick James, Snooky Pryor, and Willie Big Eyes Smith. Matt Guitar Murphy was born December 29 in 1929 and is renowned for his work with James Cotton, Memphis Slim, and Howlin' Wolf. Murphy was born in Sunflower, Mississippi, and grew up in Memphis, where his father worked at the Peabody Hotel. Murphy learned to play guitar when he was a child, and in 1948, Murphy moved to Chicago, where he joined the Howlin' Wolf Band. In the late 70s, Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi saw Murphy perform and asked him to join the touring band of the Blues Brothers, and Murphy also appeared in the Blues Brothers films. And if you only know Matt Guitar Murphy from the Blues Brothers films, you're missing out. Go listen to his other stuff. He's an excellent guitar player. Happy birthday to rock and roll pioneer Bo Diddley, who was born December 30th, 1928. Ellis McDaniel was his real name, and he played a key role in the transition from the blues to rock and roll. He influenced many artists, including Buddy Holly, Elvis Presley, the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, among others. His use of African rhythms and a signature beat, the Bo Diddley beat, a simple 5-accent ham-bone rhythm, is a cornerstone of hip-hop, rock, and pop music. Bo Diddley developed many special effects and innovations in tone and attack, and his trademark instrument was his self-designed, one-of-a-kind, rectangular-bodied twang machine built by Gretsch Guitars. Lillian McMurray was born December 30th, 1921. She was one of the earliest American female record producers and owner of Trumpet Records in Jackson, Mississippi. She was influential in the development of blues music when she turned part of the furniture store that she and her husband owned into her own music store and recording studio. The first releases were of gospel music, but she soon auditioned and recorded both slide guitarist Elmore James on his original recording of Dust My Broom and Sonny Boy Williamson, who did multiple recordings there. Blues singer and harmonica player Houston Boynes was born December 30th in 1918 in Hazelhurst, Mississippi. He was accompanied by Charlie Booker and later was recruited by talent scout Ike Turner to record for Modern Records in 1952. He also recorded for Sun Records in 1953. He enlisted in the United States Army in January of 1941 before the United States entered World War II. After returning, he played with guitarist Charlie Booker, Houston Stackhouse, and Eddie Cusick. Well, blues fans, we just covered some of the highlights here, but if you want to know more about these artists or other things that happened this week in the blues, be sure to follow our social media pages or visit our website at bigtrainblues.com. We'll have a new episode next week, so we'll see you then.